Hello everybody! We are here at the ICA. We are part of the Teen Arts Council, also known as the TAC. I am Camila and this is...
I'm Pearl, and today we're going to be doing an artist interview with...
Sara Cwynar.
So you are a contemporary artist, and we actually are big fans. We love your work, and we're so excited to be talking to you. Okay, so just to jump in, have you always known that you've wanted to be an artist, or was there a moment where it kind of clicked for you?
I did not always know I wanted to be an artist. I was very confused for a long time. I didn't even know you could be an artist when I was you guys' age, probably. Or I knew artists existed, but not how that was possible. I studied English literature and then graphic design, and I dropped out of university 3 times, or college as you call it here. And yeah, I worked as a graphic designer for many years, and I would make art at 5 a.m. before work and after work. And then I only really became an artist in my 20s. Yeah. Wow. But slowly I started wanting to do it, and then I don't know, it's scary calling yourself an artist. It took me a long time to even feel like I was a real artist and not just someone who made art around my day job. But I don't even know why that should be a distinction.
Yeah. Is there a piece of art that you made that has a really special meaning or that stands out?
So the first show I ever did that got was shown in New York City and that got a review or anything like that was this strip of photos called Flat Death, and it's a group of 14 photos. It's from 2014, and it kind of goes through the tropes of photography, by which I mean the sort of really classic, familiar photos that we see all the time out in the world. There's a play on an architectural photo or a portrait of a model, a nature photo, an architectural image. So all these kind of familiar images, but then I played with the surfaces and took them apart and built them again. Or the nature photo, I remade all the leaves out of plastic Post-it notes. Again, just using something I had, but changing the photo. And yeah, that work is still really special to me because it was kind of the first work anyone outside of myself actually noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a creative process that you have? Do you have any rituals or routines?
Well, whenever I make something, I always read for a really long time before and then start with a text or an idea. The kitsch idea comes from Milan Kundera's book, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, which is a novel about the Czech Revolution in the 1960s. But he talks about how politicians will use kitsch images to try to sway the people into believing what they want. So that project started with that book. My film Rose Gold started with this book called Cruel Optimism by the writer Lauren Berlant, and it's about sort of good life fantasies and how we are taught this certain idea of a good life and what a good life should be, but that's increasingly out of lockstep with what's accessible in reality for a lot of people. And she also talks about how images kind of play into that, into selling that fantasy. And in a way, it's the same thing as kitsch, just formulated differently. So yeah, once I have that idea in my head, and then I can sort of see oh, the rose gold iPhone is a cruel optimism because it's you're buying the same thing that you already have, just in a different color. And it's keeping you connected to working and consuming and these cycles that sort of don't make your life any better, but maybe feel good in the short term. She talks a lot about how we'll kind of ignore our larger structural issues in favor of smaller pleasures like buying a new phone, and that's the cruel optimism of sort of existing in capitalism. But also we can't help it, those are the things that are available to us because we can't change the larger systems. I could go on about that for hours, but I will sort of find a text that has to do with my own interests like that, and then find all the images out of the text, because otherwise it's too hard to start something. You could start anywhere.
Yeah. Have there been any challenge or like challenges or specific doubts or like things like that in your career that stand out?
Yes, many. Yeah, I mean, well, like I spoke a bit about just how you even know you're an artist before you're showing your work in a museum. And then, I mean, figuring out like how best to make an idea or what medium to use is always a challenge. Like I made photography for a long time because it was kind of accessible. I had a camera, I could make it in my apartment. But then I started to feel limited by that medium and by the way that I would sort of do so much research and thinking, and then it would make its way into one photo that was often, like I have a real style in my work and it's very like aesthetically pleasing, which is important to me. And it's part of the content, I think, like it's critiquing the stylization of images. But I felt like a lot of my thinking was getting lost in the final photograph, which is why I started making video. But that was really hard to figure out. Like I had to just teach myself how to do it, and then also making video, like you might think something makes sense by yourself in your room, but then with that medium, because it's time-based and because it's narrative, it might make absolutely no sense to someone else. So that was a big leap and challenge, like making a video that someone else could understand. And yeah, I mean, like the precarity of being an artist is a constant challenge, and I don't think anyone who gets a paycheck every week will ever understand what it's like to the like uncertainty of it, but it's obviously worth it for other reasons.
Okay, so the changing topics, but this is truly like the most important question of all. What's your favorite way to eat a potato?
Obviously French fried. Who would answer differently?
I agree.
Is there another answer? Mashed?
Maybe.
What does everyone say?
I would say fries,
I agree.
to be honest. All right, that kind of segues us into our lightning round.
Okay, so do you have any like secret talents?
Figure skating. I mean, it's not very secret, but
Right.
it's unusual.
Yeah.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
Yeah, same.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I lost the lightning speed. Oh my God, I don't know. Remembering everything, even though that would be horrible actually, but to think of an answer.
What are the 3 things, if you could only bring 3, that you would bring on a desert island?
Water,
Okay.
a really long book, and I don't know, food. These are really boring answers.
What's your zodiac sign?
Virgo.
Okay.
Are you ever like, have you ever thought like into that?
You know, I'm not much of an astrology person, but I do seem to be a Virgo. Like, if you even look at the show Upstairs, it's all about like obsessively organizing information, which I guess is a Virgo. I don't know. You guys probably know more than I do about what it means to be a Virgo.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so
Sara.
much.
It was amazing to meet you. And this concludes our artist interview.
TSC out.
Oh, make sure to subscribe, follow us on everywhere. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.